What the fuck? Well, I mean, she lived a whole life. When I hear someone gets reincarnated, I'm like, damn, Truck-kun got him at an early age. That was a full-ass life. Huh. Very interesting. The way he acts, you'd assume, like, his fucking was world domination. We got demon lords, and they're getting done in the most comedically bullshit way. Yeah, I think you guys are gonna have to hit the fucking Rocky training arc, I gotta be real. Also, what's the point of a skeleton doing physical training? It doesn't have muscles to Okay, now that's sick. Look at how much cooler and intimidating they look now. Raining, that's actually a crazy trap. Oh, shit. I forgot. Oh, it's weird because it functions so like a video game that I kind of forget that they actually die. What the fuck, bro? Millen, put some damn pants on. This is a wholesome party. You can be slutty later. The funny thing is, Rimuru might be the least greedy person in this world. I feel like she's gonna get him alone and try to control him and realize that there's nothing to control. What the fuck? Bro, I would not be standing there after someone just got sniped. Absolute banger this week. Those are some of my highlights. Want to catch full live reactions to these episodes? Head on over to Patreon. But we gotta break down this latest Tensura episode. I mean, great initial return. Fun. Good time. Last week, damn, maybe recency bias, but that's some of the most fun I can remember having with slime. It helps. I'm a big dungeon crawler fan, right? So I'm gonna have a good time. What did they do for the third episode? 6 minutes, damn near 6 minutes before the opening, Mariabelle and her backstory, the greed, understanding the mindset of seemingly the main antagonist of this season, right? Back to dungeon crawling, finishing up with her. This was the strongest of the 3 episodes, and it's not even close. And it's super interesting because sometimes when you come back to seasons, like, you're like, I don't really remember shit, but I'm still having fun, and it slowly comes back. I'm watching Last Boss Queen Season 2 on Patreon right now. I don't remember shit about the first season, but in pieces it comes back, but I can make it work. I don't feel that way with Slime. Like, I remember the main plot points, and characters are still fresh in my head. But I will admit, there are aspects that I'm like, I'm not sure if this is new information, they just revealed it, and in the case of this episode, it would be the fact that she was actually reincarnated. She lived an entirely full life up until her late elderly years and came back into a world that was quite different, and then we got into the whole she has the greed ability. It's super interesting because at face value, what old Grandpappy taught her was that we're gonna make a world where everyone is equal, right? That's a pretty noble dream. Granted, she wants to be on the tippity top, controlling all of it, but can you really have a perfect society when no one has free will because you're manipulating their greed? It's hard to say. And honestly, the more I'm learning about her as a character, the more I'm unsure where the punchline of them will go, because, you know, Slime can easily be a show where everyone who decides to turn their sword on you can join up on our side and party, but also we know the show does kill. I feel like her own greed is going to be her downfall, and eventually we're going to see her die. But at the same time, when you look at what Tempest is as a nation, isn't that kind of what her grandfather was kind of after the whole time? Granted, it's more on the monster side, but in doing so, maybe there's an argument to be made. Her on the human side, Rimuru on the monster side, coexist. Maybe that's too much of a fool's hope, but it's interesting to think about. I mean, when you have a face card like this, you would think this has to be the most evil character in the show, especially with his voice, right? Like that's a JoJo villain. Like, come on. Like, that's someone who's about to use a stand to fucking diddle you or something. But honestly, what he said is kind of noble. Granted, Path to Hell is generally carved with good intention. But it's so interesting watching someone be like, you know, should something ever happen to me, you need to control and, you know, do what you're going to do, because you need to be the one to continue this lifelong mission of mine, right? It's such an interesting dynamic, and I'm so excited to see more of Mariabelle and where it's going to go, because I do think it's going to be a big-ass battle. The opening has already teased as much, but even if you had the most slice-of-life dominated opening, it's pretty clear. Someone who since birth, like literally as soon as she came out of the womb, her fucking nanny was being manipulated. I'm not sure exactly what her greed was. Maybe it's to be the most important, like, servant for her own benefit, but either way, great shit. But we also did get the fun factor, which was the dungeon crawling. So the big thing was that we ended last week's episode, and I think it was after the credits, we saw that their new bodies did jack shit. Like, they were shit out of luck. It was basically like sending in a level 1 slime to go fight level 50 soldiers. Like, it was a recipe for disaster. So what they ended up doing was they went on their training arc. Now, I have some questions about their training arc. I was seeing a skeleton do strength training. Not sure how that helps. He has no muscles, but you know what? Magical Rimuru. We let bygones be bygones. But slowly but surely, they became better. The thing that really impressed me, though, was what they did with basically their legendary gear. You look at these characters, and they look very much like runt soldiers. Something that's not intimidating. And if you were playing a video game, you're not going to turn around to go level up to be able to fight them. You're going to take your wooden sword from training camp and beat the shit out of a dumb little skeleton soldier like this. First of which, in terms of the gear, there's not much you can do for a slime, but the wings I thought was a right move. It was enough. It didn't make it over the top, and I thought it worked rather well. Now these two, holy shit, like, look at the difference in aura with the skeleton alone, man. It literally looked like what they ended up doing for the 4 of them is the gear they gave, it turned them from generic grunt soldiers at the starting area of a video game into potentially mini bosses. If not, you could make an argument they're like the Demon Lord's top 4 generals. Simply giving them some cool gear changed every interpretation I had, even after seeing them get bodied throughout the past couple of episodes. It was such great design, but the best one, of course, was Rimuru. Because Rimuru, you gotta let Rimuru aura farm the most, right? I mean, just simply this alone would have been enough. Just cloaking him in some sort of cloak with like some glowing energy from his face would have been enough. But when you basically make him look like the Grim Reaper with a giant scythe, I'm fucking happy. I don't know, man. Slime is a very interesting show for character designs because it has such a wide variety of models to work with, because we do have monsters. We have intelligent monsters. We have humans. We have so many different species. And it's just so cool that even now at season 4, we're still finding new ways to make me say, damn, I really fuck with that. Is this one of my favorite designs? Yeah, it's so cool, man. I love Slime. Even Slime at its worst is a good show, right? Like, yeah, sometimes the meetings did drag in the previous seasons, but it's like, the people who are like, oh my god, like, I think some of it was done in just, like, good humor, but there were people legitimately in the first episode of this new season who deadass would be like, I can't believe they did more meetings. And they were being serious, like, with their full chests, like, that's an issue. And those people don't know what Tensura is, because most of season 1 is a slice of life. That's what sold me on it, was that it was a monster civilization simulator. Sometimes it had cool action, but it's the slice of life of a monster nation rising up, and sometimes a big political thing will happen, we deal with that, and then we go back to being fucking wholesome god. That is the story, and if you think that exists through no meetings, you're kind of an idiot. It's okay, you can correct that, but you just have to acknowledge, you know, it's the first step of rehab, right? But yes, if we had 5 fucking episodes of them sitting in the same room talking about the same shit, that's where it's an issue. But simply having them talk for 5 minutes in a room is not a fucking meeting that's worth criticizing, okay? Let's get that straight. Anyway, best episode. If it only goes up from here, damn, this might be the best season. Your thoughts? Drop a like, share, support those, subscribe, ring that bell if you haven't already, and of course, Patreon. Full live reactions do live over there, and other exclusives, like I love to give those video shoutouts, because without my patrons, I won't get to do these YouTube videos at all. Alright, so today we got Isel Cicero, Michael Meadows, Sleep Fish, Wayne Delquist, Marco Sun, Here in 12, Sean Cafferkey, and Ryan Kahalili. So I appreciate the support. Please take care. You know, have a good one.